Welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. It is Wednesday, December 7th, 12:54 p.m. here in the Arizona desert. The day is kind of interesting, so let's check it out. As always, check out the bitcoindailyview.com page. Got more for you there, affiliate links and indicators that I mentioned here in the video and such. Of course, as always, uh, yeah, there you go. Check that out. So let's rock. All right, FinBiz. Today, the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ and the Dow all looking pretty interesting. Pretty much a sideways day, but really they kind of were, positive, negative, red, green, red, green, red, green. So far, the market is still open. Looking at the S&P 500, which seems to affect Bitcoin the most in general, it is a barely green day. So it's truly a sideways day in the big market, looking at the indexes with a slight tendency towards the green side of things. For some reason, Tesla getting hammered, Google down, Apple down. So take it for what it's worth. How about the healthcare? Oh, healthcare stocks looking all right. Okay, anyway, there we go. So let's keep rocking. If I sound monotone, and just because the market is kind of boring today, I'm trying to get sparky about it, but it's not very exciting. Looking at coin market cap here, looking at the big exchanges like the top 20 or so, top 20, top about the top 50 at least. Yeah, really look at the top 50 exchanges. Most are just now flipping into the green, so we're getting some positive volume increases. I like seeing that. It's not a big volume pump, but it is nice to see volume back in the green for the big exchanges. Looking at derivatives on Binance, 28 billion, up 9.2%. Really, that's not much at all. You want to have at least 50 billion in derivatives for a good day. 60 is really nice. 70 is a very powerful day. So we definitely are, below 30 billion. Absolutely crap derivative trading happening there today. But in general, exchanges are just turning towards the green side of things. So let's see how it rocks. We are in the middle of the week. We got Thursday, can still be very powerful. I would expect, especially with the holidays, things to trail off. So I'm kind of thinking my last trading day will probably be Friday, unless it's already kind of dead at that point. But hey, it is the holidays. Definitely expect volume on the big exchanges in crypto and probably the traditional markets to maybe trail off. So just kind of be ready for anything. We are in uncertain times, and well, hang tight. Right now, this is not much volume. It's the middle of the week. We'll see what happens. Not an exciting day in the market, not really an exciting week yet. Looking at Bitcoin, it's just kind of hanging out around 17K. Bitcoin is coming in at 16,810. I like that. Looking at the top 100 cryptos, in general, they're in the red. EOS is in the green, 5.2% up last 24 hours. Radix, XRD up 15% last 24 hours. That's pretty sparky. Celsius Network up 9.9%. Now, this is like weird. And this is why I keep thinking that I think Celsius, okay, we know FTX dumped, and lots of financial problems out there for institutions, of course, but shit, lots of problems for individuals out there and companies and everybody else. Difficult time, but exciting times also. So I keep seeing Celsius up here in the top 100, and right now it's up 9.9%. And that's why I think, just call it a sneaking suspicion, that behind the scenes, there's some financial interests that know very well they're going to buy Celsius or something like that. So, hey, if you got money in Celsius, like I did, and luckily not too much, hedge your bets, but still, if Celsius does truly die, which it may have, well, big loss to a lot of people. Same as FTX. I don't want to see anybody fail. We all make mistakes, and sometimes a mistake wasn't a mistake until something goes wrong. So anyway, Celsius back in the top 100, up 9.8%. If Celsius is really dead, then why is the Cell token actually moving? So I think that we may see Celsius come back. Sorry to get sidetracked there, but just wanted to mention that, because I think FTX, no, that thing's gone. But DeFi, not DeFi, BlockFi, maybe that thing will survive. Celsius, I still think Celsius is going to survive, going to get bought, just because, bam, Cell is still making waves now and then. It's still performing like an alt that's not dead. I think if it was truly dead, it would be at zero and done. So I think somebody knows something that we don't know, but we know because we're watching the charts. So have some hope. Cell may not be dead. GMX up up 7.7%. We're going to look at that one before we're done here. All right, BitMEX, looking at longs versus shorts on Binance for the volume is 61% long, 38% short. For Bitcoin on Binance, definitely a long bias. For Ethereum, 62% long, 37% short, definitely long bias for both Ethereum and Bitcoin on Binance. Looking at Bitcoin, here's what's kind of jacking up today. Here's why we're not seeing too much excitement. Of course, the S&P 500 in just barely in the green today. Overall, the indices, the Dow, Nasdaq, and S&P 500 are not too sparky, so that really does not help crypto very much, especially the S&P 500, because the S&P 500 and Bitcoin, they are like pretty much, they 90% to about 90% accuracy, they mirror each other. So, just beware of that. So if the S&P 500 ain't happy, neither is Bitcoin usually. You can always watch the futures for tomorrow, and you'll see which way the S&P 500 is probably going to break when it opens. And you can kind of expect right now Bitcoin to do the same, especially when Bitcoin's kind of flaccid in general, which it is right now. So here's the thing with Bitcoin. This is a 45-minute chart. As you can see, starting about 11:25, about noon, December 5th, which would have been Monday. We kind of dumped a little bit. We've been riding the 200 moving average, and basically we kind of really lost it around Tuesday, December 6th, right around midnight. Looks like we kind of lost it. And yeah, so right about midnight, between like the 6th and the 7th, between yesterday and today, is kind of like midnight last night. We had a dump, bump, and I thought this is not going to be so good, but we did get caught by the 314 moving average, and we're kind of finding support there. Even though we're under it, we're kind of hanging out there. So let's see what happens. Looking at the indicators here, I'm not seeing too much further velocity down. We'll see how it goes. We can look. And of course, you can see this is a short time frame, of course, but you can see we are hanging out with previous support and resistance here on the chart. Also, I could get a little bit sparky here, do something fun. Let's fire this up. Let's do the old VPVR. Where are you? I know you're hiding there somewhere. It's here. I know it. Maybe, there we go. VPVR, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, just looking at going back to about, let's go back a little bit. Let's gather some data here. Let's go back to, let's use a 4-hour chart, and let's pull in some time frames here. What do we got going on? Is it going to help us out? Not really. Well, as you can see, we have a lot of volume right around right under 20,000, like about 19,000. A lot of volume right there. So I would just say, looking at and we have a lot of support. Look at all the support we've got around, just around like 19,000. So I think definitely, when you pull in some more data. Anyway, sorry guys, this isn't too fruitful, but anyway, as you can see, got a nice volume spike around 19,000. Got a nice volume spike, kind of holding it right around where we are, around 16, 17, 18,000. So anyhow, let's see what happens. Let's pull in. Let's go back to the 45-minute chart. Let's pull in just the immediate time frame right here. And as you can see, definitely, we do have a nice volume, what we call, like this is visible range volume. So how do you measure the volume within what you can see in the chart? And looking at kind of a relevant time frame, looking at like, let's just start like the beginning of this month. Let's just look at that. Let's go like, December 1st or so. And it's only a couple days, but as you can see, our volume is, we have a nice, very, very strong volume spike right around like right about 17,000, as you can see. And that's been holding pretty strong. And that's in the 200 moving average is only right above that. So of course we did dump. The 314 caught us here in the green. So we'll see what happens. We're not out of the possibility of regaining some getting above the 200 moving average. If we could get a nice, let's just call it like a BART pattern, boom, 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 and get back above the 200 moving average, that would be really nice. In general, I find it a lot easier to trade alts when Bitcoin's above the 200 moving average on the 45-minute chart. So let's look at Bitcoin on the daily. I'm going to turn off some of this crazy customizable pivot resistance zone. It's a very, very cool indicator, but let's not use it right now. Let's It's too much hassle. um, so looking at, I'm going to, which I've done this like a million times. You guys can probably, what I'm going to do. Let me fire up a fib sequence going way back here to like March of 2020. And as you can see, right now we are, something I don't like seeing is just like on the 45-minute chart, we're kind of below the 314. Here we're below the 786 fib level. This is a huge fib, and it really has been working. It starts way back here at the low, the 3K low back in March of 2020. And as you can see, this really is very sticky. It works very, very well. But the thing is, on a daily, we are below the green moving average here, which is a 50 moving average on this chart. We are just kind of hanging out, getting above the 20 WMA, which is great for immediate price action. So the daily chart's not looking too bad, especially when you fire up the MACD. It is, even though it's beginning to tangent towards the negative, we are still positive on the daily MACD. I like seeing that. So get back to the whole chart here. Boy, we really need to get back above the 786 fib level. We are in a weird spot. I don't really dig that too much. So, gird your loins, be careful. As you can see, we've really not spent in this entire time, going way back to like, March of 2020, we really have only spent, well, until we really haven't revisited below the 786 fib level. And that's about as far low as you want to go, because I mean, if you go any lower than that, then, well, it's just not a good day, and don't dig what I'm seeing there. So let's hope we can get a little bit of energons going and boom, get back above that 786, which is right at 17,748 as this fib is drawn. And also that's right about where the 50 moving average is, and that'd be very, very sparky to get it back above that. So we'll see if it happens. If not, well, we'll just we'll just keep working it. But right now, like I say, I would really love to see Bitcoin get its energons going and get back above this 314 moving average and get back above that 200 moving average. And the 200 moving average in a 45-minute chart is right around, let's just say, 17,000. So let's see if we can get some energy moving. Right now, the squeeze indicator is not really showing positive trends yet. That directional index is showing a positive trend. ADX is in the right spot. Binary candles look good, but we're not really seeing much exciting volume. So pretty much I think the issue is people just ain't doing nothing. There just isn't a whole lot of volume going on right now to push Bitcoin one way or the other. Looking at the 15-minute chart, yeah, it's not too exciting. So let's just see what happens. Bitcoin needs a little bit of energy to get the crypto market pumping again. But with all that said, you can, of course, look at this GMX versus Bitcoin. So this is a great time to trade alts. GMX visited 314. Burst about the 200 moving average, coming back down. Let's see if it challenges the 200 moving, if it bounces off the 200 moving average. These indicators are kind of looking really, really great. So where can you play GMX, BTC? You can do it on Binance, but that's the only place I see it. So not too exciting unless you're a Binancer. Let's go back to here. This is something we call the purple list over at Blockchain Education. I'm not going to show this to you all the time because it's kind of, it's our club's thing. You know what I mean? Basically, Blockchain Education. Go over to Bitcoin Daily View or the .com or the a link below. Join the team. Come in for the big win. I'm going to give you like a brief look at it right here. Just what's in the green. Just to show you, like Ant BTC, it's holding above the 200 moving average. This thing's looking good. Indicators looking good. I can't say it's overly exciting. I'm not sure if it's going to do much more than go sideways, but at least it's in a good spot. You can play it on Kraken, Binance, Bittrex. Nice little exchange out of Seattle, and KuCoin. So what's exciting about this is there's places you can play it. Look at the 4-hour chart. What do you got? 4-hour chart also above the 200 moving average. Squeeze indicator beginning to trend towards positive. So I like seeing that. So looking at TWT, it's been doing great above the 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart here, continuing up. Indicators look good. I think this guy's going to continue up. It does have that pattern. Sorry, I forget the tool to actually. I forget that. Where's that pattern tool? Where are you at? I think you're right here. That makes the. I won't waste your time right now. I'll find it later. But there you go. You kind of got the this pattern going here. Most likely that will probably squeeze in. It probably break towards the positive. Most likely, looking at these indicators. I like what I'm seeing here in the 4-hour chart. Kind of exciting. Looking on the 45-minute chart, what do we see here? Yeah, this guy's doing pretty darn good. It needs a break above. Like I would probably put like a buy order in. Maybe like up here or something like that, and then catch it as it runs up. But anyway, guys, that's pretty darn good. So TWC, I'm sorry, TWT versus BTC. You can go play a lot of places. It's a great alt. Go for it. TKO. Boom, look at that huge break above the 200 moving average, holding steady, giving a lot back right now, but you can always do a fib sequence here. These ones that run like crazy like this, I like to actually do a fib on them. And let's just see, you know, where this guy might, it's below that 5 fib level, but keep an eye on this one. Sometimes when these burst off like that, they will actually do a continuation, but, you know, but be careful. High versus BTC, I like this. It's a beautiful uptrend. You can actually see a pattern here. I shouldn't say a pattern, but a channel going upwards. Boom, boom. I'm going right here. Bam. I like that. Nice and smooth. Continuing. Indicators look pretty strong. I'd like to see a little bit more volume than it's getting. That's kind of not exactly inspiring. Like, well, yeah, it's getting some big volume spurts. Okay, so this guy's pretty nice. I like it. A lot of good indicators here. High versus BTC. Where can you play that? Binance and KRX, whatever that is. Or maybe not. No, just Binance. Okay, so sorry, it's only Binance. One last thing we'll look at here on the gold. Sorry, on the purple list is the PAXG versus BTC. This is, of course, gold-backed stablecoin PAXG versus BTC, making consistent, nice little gains here. I like what I'm seeing. Not bad at all. This guy will probably continue. Let's look at a 4-hour chart. Well, the 200 moving average slightly on the move up. It's doing what a lot of alts are doing. It's got this this dang top right here, this kind of glass ceiling, needs to kind of break above that to really be an interesting play, but it looks like it very well might. And also, if you want to really just kind of preserve some of your Bitcoin but not go to Tether or USDC, you can go to PAXG. Good coin. You may lose some, you may gain some, but it's kind of a good something. Sometimes in uncertain times, I'll put some of my Bitcoin in the PAXG just to ensure that it well, it may lose or gain money. Hopefully I want to gain money. That's the idea. But it's kind of like buying gold, basically, you know, buying gold with your Bitcoin. Not a bad deal. Anyway, we'll get it from the purple list here. I can't show you that very long. All right. And not often, but we'll visit it once in a while. So just so you guys can see blockchain education, click on the description below, the affiliate link, all that stuff. Check it out. On my purple list here, my little personal purple list, here is my Cayenne list, as I call it. Here is TWT versus USDT. I'm playing this one here on KuCoin, but you can play it on Gate.io, Bybit, and Binance, of course. So it's nice. And if you do look, we do have this nice kind of, I know I'm being a little bit creative here, but we do have this nice, well, let's say, you know, an upward trend like that. Boom. Okay, I shouldn't use the dual channel like that, but you get what I'm saying. The let me just do this. Sorry, guys. I'm just gonna go like this. Okay, boom. All right, and it's kind of sloppy. I'm taking a lot of creative license, I know, but boom, you have a general uptrend, and I kind of like what I'm seeing. It matches the 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart. We're above the 200 moving average. We're moving up. I like what I'm seeing. Right now, squeeze indicator shows a bit of a slowdown. So there's binary candles, etc. Let's look at a 45-minute chart. You know, how's that looking? You know, 4-hour chart is, 45-minute chart is coming back down, bouncing all about 200 moving average and making a move back up, continuing this upwards trend. I like what I'm seeing there in the squeeze indicator. You know, I like what I'm seeing. I like what I'm seeing in general. This is kind of an easy going trade here. It very well may keep on going. If I was going to play this one right now, I'd probably just buy, and I would put a stop in right below the 200 moving average, and I would just leave it at that and see if it makes money. But once again, it's kind of doing what a lot of alts are doing right now, unfortunately, just kind of playing with this top. And so you may want to, you know, a very conservative person might want to wait until we see a break above that. And of course, what I have not been noticing, what I have not been mentioning is it's good when you kind of stay within the realm of higher highs and higher lows. And so here you kind of see we can measure from here. That would be a higher high. This would be a higher high. That would be a higher high. But this blew it. And then that blew it. You know, but you are seeing the now kind of the bottom and the bounce off the 200 moving average and the continuation of an uptrend. So we'll see what happens. Play this one with some your cards close to your chest, basically. Definitely have a stop in if you get into that. Looking at SNX versus USDT, you can play it on KuCoin, Bittrex, Binance, of course. Big move up this morning, going sideways. And as you can see, you know, once again, the same thing we're seeing, you know, like every day where is, like I say, we're kind of playing with getting back to a previous high, and not continue not making a higher high from that, so that's not too exciting. But you do have a yeah, like once again, see, it's just a difficult time because you got like, let's take this as like the bottom and say you've got a higher high. Let's say you kind of got a higher high there. You kind of say that's one. You can kind of say this is one, but it definitely blew it, But Bitcoin's been pretty volatile, and of course you've got a higher high, then you have a sideways high. So in general, a lot of things just aren't, even if they're moving up. I think it's the volatility that we're seeing here in Bitcoin. It's this like it's this stuff here. It's like this dump you had here and like this dump here really kind of screws up your consistent higher highs and higher lows on a lot of the alts. But SNX versus USDT, at least interesting. Those are the only ones that are in greens. That's all I'm really going to look at right now. How's Doge versus BTC doing? Ooh, shitty. How about Clay versus USDT? Not so great. All right, get rid of that. How about Doge versus USDT? Not very good. How about Ape? Ape was doing well a while ago, but it ain't now. It's not so great. Anyway, guys, that's what I can see. So let's keep on cruising. Let's just look at some news today. Sorry that the alt market and Bitcoin is not super exciting. It's a little hard to catch good plays right now, but you certainly can. Just what the trick is really is to find coins that you're interested in that are performing well, and just keep riding those things. A lot of times you can get nice scalps out of things. I mean, not so much a scalp, but let me just say, like, one thing to note here, let's say you like TWT versus USDT, and you're only looking at like the squeeze indicator. So here you go. It's squeezed negative, and now it goes positive. Now it's squeezed. And so in a sense, let's just say you, like in times like this, something that I do, and this is the this indicator you will find, just look for squeeze over at bitcoindaily.com. I think if I search for squeeze, yeah, TTM squeeze momentum by Draken. Try that. It's over at bitcoindaily.com. Give that a shot. And like if I was to simply play that indicator, and I think I do tune that actually, give you a little heads up. Try this 40 to 40 1.5, and I think you might find that it works pretty well. So with that said, let's just say when you have something like this, which is a lot of sideways action, but definitely some volatility, you can always, just as a strategy, not financial advice, just saying like sell, buy, using the squeeze indicator, sell, buy, and you might find that you can get some gains out of that, especially if these sells and buys correspond to the directional index of the ADX. This is a directional index in the ADX. Green candles and red candles are the ADX. I'm sorry, are the directional index, and the line here is the ADX. And I think you can find that over at bitcoindaily.com. Just search for a ADX. Yeah, ADX and DI histogram, and you'll find the indicator there. And you can work that thing. You can just, so those two in correspondence are really nice. And we'll just leave it at that for now when it comes to indicators. Enough for one day. So let's just have some fun, look at some news. A growing number of Americans want U.S. to press for peace in Ukraine. This is over at Zero Hedge, and it kind of falls down between partisan lines slightly, but not completely. America's getting tired of the war in Ukraine, the proxy war in Ukraine, which is definitely a war that the collective West are funding, via NATO, what's going on there. And of course, actually, now a lot of Ukrainian troops are actually NATO troops, and those NATO troops, what does that even really mean? So they're finding lots of, foreign military, which is kind of basically wearing Ukrainian military uniforms along with mercenaries. And, I'm an old man now. I'm not old, but I'm 52. I was in the military when I was young for a good while. I don't like seeing, whether they're Azov battalion or Ukrainian soldiers or Russian soldiers, don't like seeing young men and women turn to hamburger. And I've had enough of this, and so have a lot of people. It's deep state nonsense. It's all a great big money laundering scheme. We can already see that in FTX. Was definitely involved in all of this as far as moving money, and it's just dirty. And I'm glad Americans have kind of had it. I think it may fall down partisan lines slightly right now, but I think it will eventually be rather unanimous. Enough deep state monsters. Straight Line Logic, interesting blog. I'm new to this one. This guy here, Robert Gore, great name, very serious looking face. He said, "Everybody and everything is more important than you," by Robert Gore. You know, I'm gonna actually share that in the live chat if you are live watching, or if you go back and check it out later. Well, anyway, there you go. I put that in live chat so you can see it. Really interesting article. Basically, it makes a case for, hey, you know, everything's more important than, you know, happy individuals or you know, personal sovereignty. It's interesting. It's really a deep dive. I don't even want to get into it. It's very intellectual, very deep. You might dig it. I think you will. It's not a very long article, but it really it gets into who was that? Clarence Clearwater Revival. Yeah, yeah, Fortunate Son. You know, and when you ask how much should we give, oh, they only ask for more. And this is back from 1969, and it really rings true. This line, this lyric, it's very powerful. It's like, hey, you know, these guys were onto it. What these guys were saying with this lyric was really deep stuff, more so than we might think. And now we're seeing that actually it has only from that day, it was a big deal. And now it's even more so. The world's off the rails. And just in case you didn't know, you ain't got to give nothing. Your presence is enough, and it does matter. So if you so desire, read this. It's good stuff. Americans aren't buying more gun control, they're buying more guns. I like this, and it really goes to show how out of touch, well, the deep state really is and such like that, thinking that Americans don't like guns. I'm telling you what, if you're American, 15% of your bone marrow is gunpowder, and you love guns, and you don't like gun prohibitionist monsters because they only take guns from people for one reason only. Okay. It's so you can't, yeah, well, you know what I'm saying. They don't take them for one reason. We all know what that is. New York Times blames QAnon for Balenciaga, whatever the name of that company is, pedophile scandal. So QAnon, I don't care about QAnon. Personally, I don't think QAnon is real. I think it's a psyop. That's just my take on it. So QAnon is irrelevant in this article, honestly, to me. But New York Times, that criticism of the ads from Fox News and Tucker Carlson are part of a conspiracy theory. No, this is disgusting. So in case you ever wondered about New York Times, if you ever wondered, is it evil? Well, it runs cover. It runs cover blatantly for this disgusting crap. So this is insane. This is insane. The world is off the rails, man. The world is off the rails. When you see the New York Times covering for this evil bunch of god awful people doing terrible stuff like this with their ad campaign, I mean, that's just it's damn nuts, and it's nuts. It's nuts. You're gonna cover for this? Oh my gosh. Anyway, Bitcoin truth seekers, remember, for every Bitcoin Satoshi you own, well, you you're a good person. You're not doing evil crap like Balenciaga, and you're not covering it up. And you know, you matter. You're not just giving your sovereignty away to some horde that wants to you know, destroy all life on the planet. You're not like for let's just get World War III going so we can reduce the population, whatever, you know, to 500,000, you know, groundskeepers for the elite to live underground. Anyway, guys, it's a boring day in the market. I'm rambling. You matter. Remember, for every Bitcoin Satoshi you own, you just straight up, you punch a globalist in the nuts, and that is maybe the most rebellious act you can possibly do. The most positive thing in this world right now, for real, might be every Bitcoin Satoshi you own. So stack sats, chill, make the world a better place. It is probably the most rebellious act you can do on the planet this moment. Take care.